You got Superman, he's got his cool flight stand, right? He comes with a couple different fish so you can make him so he's like out there flying. We've got Batman. Obviously, you're going to do DC Multiverse. You want to do some Batman stuff, make him look cool. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and you ever wake up and just not feel it? That's kind of how I've been today. I don't know, I can't get up and motivated. Don't get me wrong, I've been online looking at toys, looking at pictures, kind of drooling, but... So we're just gonna jump into it before I get too Eeyore on you. Well, okay, thanks for asking. Teased 2 weeks ago, fully revealed last week, the ThunderCats Ultimates! Okay, so maybe I do feel a little bit. I'm getting in front of the camera, I'm like, yeah, let's do this! Ultimates! They're now capitalizing the whole thing, as evidenced in this tweet. So, hey, whatever garners more excitement, I guess. But the pre-orders actually opened for ThunderCats Okay, I'm not gonna do it though. Yeah. Wave 2. Again, what we talked about last week. Some points of interest here. Mum-Ra is a higher price point, but he is an inch taller than the rest of the ThunderCats, or well, the rest of the crew. So he's bigger, he's more plastic, I can understand, but at the same time, I do agree with some people that the price point is already a little high here. So, again, Pumira, her legs have been shortened down to fix her height. She was too tall for the original release, and that also brings her kind of into better proportions overall. Groon isn't missing ab articulation. He has swappable chest pieces, which will probably get in the way of ab articulation when it's all said and done. But we won't know that until we actually get them in hand. So, it's there, but will it be usable? Plus, it's Groon. And then there's Tigra. If you're only building the essential ThunderCats team, then Tigra is needed for your shelf. They posted this group shot more recently than the promotional pictures of them all separate, and it looks like they've done some tweaking on Tigra's colors. Seems to make him a little bit more accurate to the original cartoon, plus they've photoshopped some detail work in, like the little jewels on the front of his shins. So, hopefully before the end of the month, we'll see actual painted prototype of this, of what we're actually going to get when we order it. But the biggest gripe I've seen online is the head. It's not quite accurate to any one source. In fact, if you look at it, it's kind of a mix of Tigra and Bengali. But if you go back to the Bandai 8-inch figure, the head almost looks just like this. So maybe the corporate overlords who hold the license is handing down upon poor Super7 this style sheet that they want them to use, or they are going to use this eventually for Bengali, and it's just an easier way of doing that, mold reuse, etc. I don't know, I'm not defending anything, I'm just waxing toyetic. Pre-orders are open for these until the end of the month, and if you don't want to pay right now, pre-orders are open at Big Bad Toy Store. You don't have to pay until they actually ship, so there you go. Soap Studios actually teased this at the first of the month, but I missed it, okay? It's been busy. Here is their Dark Knight Batman Deluxe edition. It's essentially him in his upgraded bat suit, but with soft goods. I can't speak to the quality of their previous releases. I've always looked at them and even seen reviews, and I've thought, they look interesting, but at the same time, they look like kids wearing their dad's clothes, maybe a little bit. Clothing seems a little bit big, a little bit bulky. From what I've seen, the articulation at certain points is a little bit hindered. But with the tease of this Batman, they are also announcing that they've upgraded the base body to have more articulation, and then they're using a material for the soft goods that is more form-fitting, but allows for more range of motion. So, hopefully saying all that, the Batman will be able to move like Batman should. You know, so he can back out of the driveway easier. And I have to admit, it does look good, but I also kind of feel that this is too late, maybe, especially with SH Figuarts and Mafex both releasing kick-ass versions themselves. Hell, Medicom stepped up to the plate 3 times before they knocked it out of the park, and that was still before Soap Studios released their version. But there are soft goods collectors, there are people who prefer that, so they've been waiting for this. They'll be like, oh, finally, yes! Soft goods Batman! They've went the Hot Toys route here and made swappable lower faces, so you can take the two different cowls, the regular and then the sonar eyes. You can take the two different mouth parts, which is normal and then clenched teeth, and swap them between the two cowls. So you actually get 4 options instead of just 2 heads. 2 capes, 1 wired, 1 regular regular without the wires. Lots of hands. The grapnel, the sticky bomb rifle, small bombs, glider pack, batarangs, a loose cowl to hold, backdrop, stand, 80th anniversary pin, and a wrench to change the face plates out. And a bank loan application because it costs $132. Don't get me wrong, I'm one to drop the money if I'm interested enough, and I may be interested enough, but at the same time, I look at this and I think, I've already got this figure a couple times before. Maybe if there was a stripped down version without all those damn accessories for maybe half. And that's all set to release in May. I woke up yesterday to pictures of Bandai's SH Figuarts Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey, and it's been teased before, but it actually surprised me how much I liked it, seeing it in the promotional images. Because I shouldn't. I mean, that's some gaudy costume with the gold and the pink, and it's just, I shouldn't like it, but it looks so damn good. Tamashii Nations knocked the Suicide Squad version of this figure out of the park. Even though it may not be the most accurate, they did embellish in places, but if I had to go back and pick one Harley Quinn, live action anyway, it would be that figure. Hopefully this is a repeat of that. This look is definitely more reserved, and it looks, I don't know, maybe not as interesting, but interesting in plastic form. Because the gold overalls come up over the torso joints, so it piques my interest in how the torso's actually going to move with all that hanging on it. The colors pop, and speaking of that, it comes with a couple of hands that's holding a lollipop and a head that has a lollipop stick coming out of her mouth. The stick may be a little bit thick, but that's just some of the concessions that need to be made for this scale. They couldn't make it actual scale size without it being just razor thin, and you're going to snap that off as soon as you try to mess with it. Also, the likenesses seem pretty good, but unfortunately, during our evening TV time, we've been going back through My Name is Earl. I look at the laughing head and I can't help seeing joy. And I hate when people do that to me, when they notice a resemblance to another actor and then it's stuck in my head. I don't want to do that to you, but... And apparently it's not a new thing, because when I went to Google it after I thought of it, it's been going back to the first Suicide Squad movies. I didn't do it. I just brought it up again. How's that? Besides the 3 heads and the hands, there's also a hammer and then swappable feet with both shoe and roller skate options. I'm not sure if the wheels roll, but I see people commenting that they hope they do. But to me, that just seems like a pain in the ass to stand an action figure on a shelf. It's not like I'm gonna scooter down a hill and hope, stay up, Harley! $50, and you don't have to wait too long because this is set to release in March. That's a hell of a turnaround. Okay, you know this. I know nothing about Power Rangers. I gave the first wave a shot, and they are awesome action figures. I love the articulation scheme they went with here, and as a group, yeah, they kick ass together. So not knowing Power Rangers, keep that in mind. I don't know the inaccuracies here or with other figures in the line. When people comment with stuff like that, I'm just like, well, it's a cool looking action figure. Yay. But the next series went up for pre-order this week, and it consists of, I gotta read them off. Sorry. It has Beast Morphers Cybervillain Blaze, SPD Red Ranger, Zeo Blue Ranger, and Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger. And I think that last one is needed. From what I understand, from talks around the internet water cooler, that the original Mighty Morphin seems to be the most popular. I like the looks of all of them, but again, I'm not attached to any certain teams. But if I had unlimited money and unlimited resources and unlimited space, which I don't, I would try to build the original Mighty Morphin team. Because if nothing else, I remember coming home from work and kind of seeing it before, you know, heading off to do other stuff. If it were just one team, it would be those. This week, Mezco sprung the 1/12 Collective PX exclusive Spider-Man Far From Home stealth suit on us. And it was kind of like a, here you go, get it. And honestly, truthfully, this is my favorite kind of Mezco. It's kind of a real world feel. I love my superheroes and I love my skin-tight costumes, which this is a skin-tight costume, but it pulls from real world reference. It doesn't catch my eye that the mask material doesn't match the costume material. It's not supposed to here. So the sculpted plastic of the head doesn't stand out against the clothness of the body. Yes, I said clothness because that's the first thing that came to mind. Plus it's Spider-Man. It's not Monkey. It's Peter Parker in stealth gear. Maybe a little bit late, but at the same time, it's something different. But this looks interesting. Comes with an unmasked Peter Parker head that's been beat up a little bit. The goggles on the masked head seem to come off and maybe mount above, like they flip up, or maybe they flip up. Somehow it gets out of the way of the eyes. It's a little light in the accessory department. Besides some other hands, it just comes with some webs. Although, it does come with my new favorite effect of, "Shut your mouth, hole villain!" You know, where he shoots them in the face, they can't see, they can't talk. I don't know why I love this effect so much. Like I said, this is PX exclusive, so to be distributed through Diamond, which means it'll be at your favorite local comic shop or online retailer like Dorkside Toys. I didn't get too far into Last of Us. In fact, I got to some room where you had to sneak around, what they call it, clickers, the zombies or monsters or whatever they are, and I just could not do it. So I dropped the game, never went back. I hear it's good, though. That's not to say I'm not intrigued by the Lim Toys tease of a character. I don't even know her name, but it's from Last of Us, and it looks interesting. It makes me either want to go back to the game and see what it's about before actually pre-ordering this, when it goes up for pre-order, or just pre-ordering something from a franchise I know nothing about. You're surprised, aren't you? Does make me wonder about the status of their Metal Gear Solid Snake, though. It's been pushed a couple of times, so I'll wait for that before getting too interested in this. 1000 Toys and Dark Horse Direct have finally solicited their Hellboy series Abe Sapien. We've seen this at a couple of shows. Looks fantastic. It's always awesome when they get something to market. Seeing it at a show is one thing, seeing it in person is one thing, seeing pictures of it's one thing, but actually seeing there's the price, there's the checkout, that's a whole different game. First, they solicited the PX exclusive version, again through previews, so it's at online retailers, comic shops, and that's Abe with his vest, which is removable, have the spear gun, knife, and pistol. That's on top of looking like it stepped off the damn page. With that, we also see a previews exclusive re-release of Hellboy, who comes with a BPRD shirt. It doesn't actually show him with the shirt on, but here's this picture kind of showing the shirt, so you get the idea. For those of you who don't know what a shirt is, and then just last night, Dark Horse Direct posted their exclusive version of Abe, who comes with a statue of Rasputin. I can kind of see the thinking behind this. I mean, putting articulation into that robe would be very breaky-uppy, very cut up. So, on one hand, I'm good, but on the other, damn, I love action figures. So, it's kind of a trade-off. It makes for one sexy traffic cone, though. And I guess in the grand scheme of things, if he did have joints, I would have posed him like this anyway. But options are good, so I don't know. Plus, it adds $40 to the price. Is that... I'm just not sure. I mean, it looks good, but whew. But again, all that bearded beauty. The PX version's listing goes out of its way to comment on how it comes with a removable vest with the BPRD logo on the back, almost making it sound like that is exclusive to the PX. But for the Dark Horse Direct version, all the pictures show it in that same vest. So I don't know if they just use the same prototype for both photo shoots, or it's just weird wording to the PX version, so I don't know. $80 for the PX, $120 for the Dark Horse Direct version, and then $105 for the Hellboy with the spiffy t-shirt. You know, you put it over your torso and your arms go through. And NECA has released package shots of their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie Wave 2 of Shredder, Splinter, and 2 foot soldiers who come with different weapons. And you know what package shots means, right? They should be coming out right around the corner. These are GameStop exclusive, and they're available for pre-order on their website right now, which I don't know, is kind of a crapshoot sometimes, but if you missed out on the San Diego version of these, GameStop's your only option at this point. In more Turtle news, NECA announced on Twitter that they were shipping out more TMNT Cartoon Wave 2 Bebop and Rocksteady 2-packs, and that'll release along with a 2-pack of Krang and Shredder. So they're their own release. It's like a refresh. Here's more Bebops, more Rocksteadies. Hopefully those will get out there more, especially without those pesky Turtles and the Foot Soldier packs getting in the way. They'll hit in February and March, which is, according to the tweet, right before Wave 3. Wave 3? Yep, they officially announced the actual lineup for Cartoon Wave 3. We've seen these at shows before, we know what they look like, but knowing how we're going to get them, is one step closer to actually getting them. Leatherhead and Slash come together, while Casey comes with a slashed foot soldier, and April is packed with a bashed foot soldier. Some aren't happy with Casey and April coming with more foot soldiers. They feel like they should have been packed together and then the foot soldiers on their own. From a company standpoint, I can see why NECA did this. They sell more packs this way, which is good for the line in the long run. Plus, the foot soldiers are different enough from the regular standard releases that I'm kind of excited to get them too, with their own break apart and you can see the innards. But I can also see the consumer standpoint where you only want to spend the amount of money on the actual figures you want in your collection. I don't need extra foot soldiers, really, so I just want Casey and April. I can see that point of view too. Me, after I saw this, I skipped on getting more foot soldiers that are sitting at my Target, which is the only turtle figures at my Target. Which means there were actual turtle figures at my Target. I may have missed them, but they were there. That's something. NECA also showed some test shots of Casey and the Slash foot soldier, and man, I love bare plastic test shot action figures for some reason. You can see the actual sculpt without the paint, even though the paint is, you know, the icing on top, kind of literally. It shows the articulation. It shows the foot soldier. Is that going to be a bendy wire in there, or did the resin break and it's actually kind of fallen over? Who knows? All I know is I'm excited. Casey, April, Foot, Slash, Leatherhead, continuation of the series. Hopefully they will get out there, or hopefully Target will put them on their website to actually ship or stock it. Yeah, don't go crazy, but... And finally from NECA, this another tweet of sweet teases. Tweezes? They tell us to expect an announcement very soon for a Deluxe / Ultimate SKU that'll cover things like Metalhead, or what else was it? Ultimate Foot Soldier, or Krang's android body. Oh, so much turtle goodness. And I was going to tease Randy about his spelling of Slider, but as I was writing the bullet points for today's weekly, I typed it like that 3 times. So, glass houses, casting stones, all that. And that's it for this week. More and more toy goodness on the run-up to Toy Fair in mid-February. There's going to be so much to see, both at Toy Fair and in the coming weeks. Good grief. If you're interested in seeing any of these pictures up close, or more information, or pre-orders, this will all go up on the Fwoosh front page at noon on Saturday. Next week, I'll be taking more looks at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line. I posted the review of the Hellbat and Unchained armor, and they kind of kick ass, but I was looking forward to those figures too, so we'll see what the rest of the wave has in store. But if you enjoyed this weekly, comment, like, subscribe, or whatever the platform you're watching this on allows. Much love to the Plus. If you're interested in getting videos early or just helping out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on Fwoosh. And all I need is this King Kong, and this mouse, and this X-Acto knife. But that's all I need.